Welcome back, screen scrollers. Today, we're diving deep into the enchanting world of Disney princesses, but with a twist. We all know that Disney has given us some of the most iconic, happily ever afters. But what if I told you that some of our beloved princesses deserved more? That's right. Today we'll be discussing 7 Disney princesses who could have had even better stories, giving them the endings they truly earned. Number 7. Snow White. Let's start with the princess who began it all. Snow White. Snow White's story is a product of its time. Created in 1937, when the idea of a woman's happiness was often tied to being saved by a man. But what if Snow White had been given more agency? Instead of waiting passively for a prince to rescue her, imagine if her journey in the forest had led her to discover her own strengths and desires. Perhaps she could have become a leader among the dwarfs, using her kindness and wisdom to build a community that didn't rely on external saviors. Her true happy ending could have been about self-discovery and creating a life where she defined her happiness. Expanding on this, Snow White could have had a narrative arc where she overcomes her fear and takes proactive steps to confront her evil stepmother. Maybe she uses her wit and the help of the forest creatures to outsmart the queen, taking control of her fate. This kind of ending would not only empower Snow White, but also show young viewers that courage and cleverness are just as important as beauty. Number 6. Elsa. Next up is Elsa from Frozen. Elsa's story is already a significant departure from traditional Disney tales, focusing on themes of self-acceptance and the bond between sisters. However, by the end of Frozen, while Elsa has embraced her powers, it feels like there's still more to explore. Elsa's journey could have delved deeper into the psychological impact of her isolation and the fear she lived with for so many years. What if Frozen had given Elsa the space to truly heal from her trauma? Imagine a storyline where, instead of immediately assuming her role as queen, Elsa embarks on a journey to learn about others like her, people who also feel different or out of place in their worlds. This exploration could lead her to a better understanding of herself and her powers, and allow her to return to Arendelle not just as a queen, but as a wiser and more self-assured leader. Moreover, Elsa's story could have highlighted the importance of mental health and the value of seeking help. A subplot where Elsa opens up to Anna and others about her struggles, and perhaps seeks guidance from a mentor, would resonate deeply with audiences who understand that true strength comes from acknowledging one's vulnerabilities. Number 5. Rapunzel. Rapunzel from Tangled is another princess who could have had a richer story. While Tangled is a fun and adventurous film, it still adheres to the classic trope of a princess finding love as her ultimate reward. But Rapunzel's story could have been so much more. Imagine a version of Tangled where Rapunzel's journey after escaping the tower isn't about finding love, but about discovering the world and her place in it. In this reimagining, Rapunzel's quest could involve her seeking out her true identity, understanding her heritage, and learning the responsibilities that come with it. Instead of just falling in love, she could have been portrayed as a leader who uses her creativity, intelligence, and compassion to bring change to her kingdom. By giving Rapunzel more control over her destiny, the story would have empowered her to shape her future rather than just reacting to it. We could even explore the psychological effects of her isolation in the tower, how she copes with the outside world, the anxieties of being free yet vulnerable, and the struggles of adapting to a society she's never known. Rapunzel's character growth would resonate with anyone who has felt trapped or isolated and found their way to independence. Number 4. Ariel. Ariel from The Little Mermaid is perhaps one of the most iconic Disney princesses, known for her curiosity and adventurous spirit. But her story quickly narrows down to a romance with Prince Eric. While there's nothing wrong with a love story, Ariel's character had the potential for so much more. Instead of her journey being about finding a man, imagine if Ariel's transformation into a human was about experiencing the world from a new perspective. A more compelling storyline could have followed Ariel as she navigates the complexities of human society, understanding different cultures, and perhaps even addressing environmental issues. Given her deep connection to the ocean, Ariel's love for exploration could have driven a narrative where she becomes a bridge between the human and underwater worlds, advocating for harmony and mutual respect. This alternative ending could also explore Ariel's struggle with her identity, torn between two worlds, and how she ultimately finds a way to unite them. It would give her a more substantial role, moving beyond the typical princess narrative and turning her into a symbol of unity and environmental stewardship. This approach would have given Ariel's story a timeless relevance, especially in today's context of global awareness and conservation efforts. Number 3. Belle. Belle from Beauty and the Beast is celebrated for her intelligence, love of books, and independent spirit. However, her story still ends with her finding love with the Beast, which, while heartwarming, leaves much of her character unexplored. Belle's journey could have been about more than just transforming the Beast. It could have been about transforming herself and the world around her. Imagine if, after breaking the Beast's curse, Belle had pursued her passion for knowledge. She could have opened a school or a library in the Beast's castle, making education accessible to everyone in the village, especially women. Her love story with the Beast could still be part of the narrative, but it wouldn't define her. Instead, Belle's ending could highlight her role as an educator and a leader, using her intellect to bring about social change. This would have been a powerful message about the importance of education and the role of women in shaping society. Belle's happily ever after could have been about fulfilling her dreams and making a difference in the world, showing that love and ambition can coexist. Number 2. Jasmine. Jasmine's story in Aladdin took a significant turn in the live-action remake, where she becomes Sultan at the end. This was a much-needed improvement over the original, where her happy ending was simply marrying Aladdin. The live-action film gave Jasmine the agency she deserved, allowing her to make decisions for herself and her kingdom. But what if Jasmine's journey to becoming Sultan had been even more central to the story? Instead of just being a love interest, Jasmine could have been portrayed as a strategic and compassionate leader from the start, actively working to improve the lives of her people. The narrative could have focused on her struggles to challenge the traditional roles expected of her and prove that she was more than capable of ruling on her own. A more detailed exploration of her character could have delved into the political dynamics of Agrabah, her relationships with other characters, and her vision for the future of her kingdom. This approach would have made Jasmine's story not just about personal empowerment, but about transforming the world around her, making her one of the most inspiring Disney princesses of all time. Number 1. Tiana. Tiana from The Princess and the Frog stands out as one of Disney's most hard-working and ambitious princesses. Her dream of opening her own restaurant, which she tirelessly works toward, is a refreshing change from the typical princess narratives centered around romance. However, even Tiana's story could have focused more on her career aspirations and less on her romantic involvement with Prince Naveen. Imagine a version of Tiana's story where her love story is secondary to her professional journey. Tiana's ambition and determination could have been explored further, perhaps with more scenes showing her overcoming challenges in the business world, interacting with other entrepreneurs, or learning from her failures. Her relationship with Naveen could still be a part of her story, but it wouldn't overshadow her primary goal of becoming a successful businesswoman. Additionally, Tiana's story could have delved deeper into the social and economic challenges of her time. As a black woman in early 20th century New Orleans, Tiana's struggles could have been depicted more realistically, adding depth and context to her journey. This would not only make her story more powerful but also more inspiring, showing that her success was truly earned through hard work and perseverance. And there you have it. 7 Disney princesses who deserved better happily ever afters. Each of these characters had the potential for richer, more complex stories that went beyond the traditional fairy tale endings. By reimagining their narratives, we can appreciate their strengths and struggles even more, while also recognizing the power of storytelling to inspire and empower. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming deep dives into the world of Disney.